You're all good.
All right.
We are live. We're just
Yeah.
gonna wait a little bit to let everybody come in and get situated. And if you have any comments, feel free to throw them in the comment section and we will read them out loud when you get a chance.
Yes. Gonna have some fun and talk. Everything.
So, hello everyone. Thank you for tuning in to our final PTD Concert Series discussion. We want to give a warm welcome to Julia today. Julia has been into BTS since 2016. They have impacted her life in so many ways and brought her so many opportunities, and she's forever grateful to be able to find them. Their music, messages, and stories is what inspires her every day, and she's so glad to have stuck around with them for as long as she has. Because she likes to sew as a hobby, more recently she's been making a lot of BTS inspired outfits, as I'm sure if you follow Julia on TikTok, you've seen. And she does all of this while being a full-time college student, which is absolutely insane and very admirable. And thank you, Julia, for joining us today. And we're so excited to talk about you and the upcoming PTD concert.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This is like an amazing opportunity, and I hope I can help other Armies with what's going on.
So you recently arrived in LA today. Watching your TikToks, you flew over SoFi. What was that feeling like? Like, is it getting more excited and real?
It was like kind of crazy just being able to see it, you know. I was just like, because I knew like LAX is like super close to like SoFi and stuff like that, and that you would like fly over it somehow. And just being able to see it, it's just like it's happening. Like I've been waiting for like years to go back to doing like things that I love, like being able to go to these concerts and stuff like that. And it was just like so amazing and like really surreal to be able to see it. And it's huge. It
big. Really is. And like to think about how they also have the YouTube theater inside of it. When they first announced live play, I was like, wait, where is it? And someone's like, it's under the same roof. And I was like,
that's crazy.
So talking about BTS, I mean, we know that you got into BTS in 2016. So how did you discover them? Like, how did they get onto your radar? Were they your first K-pop group that you started listening to?
So I do cosplay and stuff like that, and I go to like cosplay conventions, and there's a lot of people that do like dance covers and stuff like that there. And the first group that I really got introduced to was like Sistar, which was like Shake It whenever that came out, and like everyone was dancing to it. And then I was just on my Instagram one day, and then like I come across the edits and stuff like that, and then Save Me was in the background, and like this was whenever Save Me like came out. So I was like, oh, what song is this? And so then I like searched it up and I was like, oh, BTS, like, oh, this is really cool. And then like I would blast it in the car all the time. My mom was just like, what song is this? And I'm like, it's BTS. And she's like, I like that. So kind of just dived in, became a casual listener and stuff like that. And then more so like 2017 and stuff like that. Like I would get more into them, like especially after like DNA came out, like I was just hooked. So yeah.
What advice would you give to new fans who are currently like trying to navigate all of the content? You know, you get like In the Soup, Run BTS, the performances.
So I know it's like very overwhelming in a way, but I would definitely start off with like their music, and I would start off with like looking at lyrics, searching up like their like, you know, translations and stuff like that, because there's so many of them out there. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, but like I don't really have to look at the translations. I'm like, but you should, because how else are you going to know like what they're saying in that song? And then I would first of all just dive into their music, like basically like tell like who like each member is obviously and stuff like that. And then like you can dive into like their shows and stuff like that. Like whenever I first started, I would watch a lot of their you know, like the TV shows, the interviews and stuff like that. And then I would get into Run BTS and then stuff. So there is all that. But there is a lot of content, but like there's so much content that you're never bored. So
yeah, it's true. Yeah. You always kind of have something new, even if it's not exactly like new content.
Right, exactly.
And I feel like with like Run BTS and things like that, you definitely get to see like how they are like by themselves and how they are like as a group. And I feel like that's like just something not important to watch, but like you should definitely like, if you have time, you should definitely like watch
episodes. like whenever I was picking a bias, like I could not pick a bias for months. Like it was bad. Like whenever with me, like with girl groups, I have not picked a bias for years.
Impossible.
Like exactly. And with BTS, it took me like forever. It was between Jungkook and Hobi. And then it was like the one episode where Jungkook
Mm.
had the what is it, the overalls and then like the glasses and stuff like that and the pillow. And I was like,
Oh,
there it is.
that's it.
Him. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the whole like the whole you know, dancing to Beyonce, stuff like that. I was like, that's it. I
Yeah.
know that one. Him.
Yeah. I feel like choosing a vice is really so difficult. It
Yeah,
really is.
it is.
Wait, it's okay. It's gonna be Yoongi, and then other days it's like, but wait, Namjoon is looking good.
Right, exactly. You can never pick.
So speaking about Jungkook, you have such an impressive BTS collection. I remember when you were unboxing, I think the 2020 memories, and you just kept pulling JK for all of them. I was watching your Instagram stories like, wow, I don't know what luck you have, but I would like to talk from that. But what tips would you give to somebody who like wants to start their own BTS collection?
So I would definitely start off with albums, obviously. And like I have said constantly, like it is okay to buy albums without a photo card because you can get them way cheaper. And then if you want to buy the photo cards, like you can buy that separately, stuff like
Yeah.
that. And like whenever I first started collecting, like I mostly just like picked like random Jungkook photo cards to get or something like that because I was like, this looks cute. Then I didn't realize like, oh, it was like more value, like a really valuable or something like that. I was just like, I thought it was cute, so I
Yeah.
bought it. And then I would get the albums and stuff like that. And I am so sorry, these earbuds. Like I would get the album and then I was just like, you know what? Like I know Jungkook is my bias. Like I'm just gonna buy albums that have his photo cards already. So that's what I did. And then it just grew from that. And that's just how it started. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, for me personally, when I started, I was like, there's no way I can buy like 4 of the same album. Like, I think my main priority is to at least buy 1 of each and then start working towards like buying
Yep.
duplicates because I don't know, it just kind of didn't make sense in the moment to just like,
No, same.
I was like 4. Like, when I first got into K pop, I was like, what do you mean there's like 8 versions of this?
Right.
What do you mean? And so, already like touching a bit on it earlier, you have created some of like the most amazing BTS fits. Your My Time JK fit lives in my memory. Like I love it so much. But what made you like want to start doing that?
So, as I said, like I cosplay and stuff like that. And I actually made a Jungkook Euphoria like dress outfit that's like based off of an art from like an artist. I don't remember her name. Like I know she changed her username, but like I reached out to her and I was like, I really love this design. Can I make this as a dress? Like all this stuff. And she was like, yeah, totally fine. And so then I did that. And then I created the Trivia Love outfit. And then while watching like the My Time performance, it was like months later. Like I was like, you know what, this would be a really cute outfit to do as a concert fit. So then I did that. And then my most recent one, I was watching obviously the PTD on stage. And then I was like, that brown suit that Jungkook has really catching my eye right now. So that's what I did. And then just totally went for it. So yeah.
Because like BTS concerts, like people are like, oh, BTS concerts are like the Met Gala of like concert fits. And
Right.
Honestly, that holds so much truth. Like
It is.
you just expect to go so hard with concert fits. So watching you create all of yours has been so exciting. I'm like watching it and I'm like, yes, I love it. So when you're making these, how long does it like usually take you to like create the concept and then like actually go and execute it?
So with my Hobie UGG outfit, it was literally right after like the Mapisol on E like concert. I was like, because my friend and I had barricade tickets for Mapisol tour. Yeah. And then we were like, this would be so much fun to do there. And then we literally went to Joanne's the day after and then bought it all. And then I made mine, I think, in a day. And I made hers in a day because I was like, I am totally like, yeah. And then
Wow.
it's like if I have the what is it, like passion to do it like super fast, like I will do it. So
Mhm.
that's how it was. And then like the My Time outfit just took a little bit because I was just nervous to do the painting and stuff on it because I'm like, I'm gonna mess this up because it's like, you know, suede or something like that, and it's expensive fabric. So I'm like,
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Speaking about, I mean, with misinformation or airport photos or unofficial pics and videos, and how, I mean, easily it can spread. It literally spreads like wildfire because we just don't know the sources. What advice do you have for fans when it comes to who to trust and where to get information regarding BTS and Army from, like reputable sources?
So I would definitely like I have noticed that a lot of people like especially like misinformation on TikTok and stuff like
Mm,
that. And I specifically said like a lot of people give this advice and it's just like if you see something that's like questionable, maybe go to the comments and see if
mhm.
someone like explains the situation or something like that, or even if like they're not, like maybe go to other resources like Twitter. Like
Yeah,
I get my main stuff from Twitter all the time. Like even on Instagram, like I remember like whenever I was a baby Army, like I did not use Twitter. Like I didn't really touch it or stuff like that. Like I would get all my stuff from Instagram. And then I'm like, oh, there's like not that much information on Instagram. Like, am I really like trusting the right people? So then I
yeah,
was like, you know what? I'm just going to make a Twitter, whatever, because I was just nervous to make a Twitter in general. But I was like, you know what? If I just want more information on BTS, like I'm going to make a Twitter. So Twitter is the place to be. And especially with like airport photos and stuff like
yeah.
that. They're just, you should not support the ones that are obviously from Sasangs.
Mhm.
And if they're from K Media, like that's totally fine because they know like they're there. Like they're
Yeah,
obviously going to look at those cameras. But just ones that seem like very like they're taken very weirdly in a way. Like I've noticed that like on TikTok, like people will post those photos and stuff like that and then
mhm.
instantly shut off the comments. And I'm like, okay, you guys are doing this for what? And
It's like,
so
come on.
yeah, but it's there's no way to really like tone it down or whatever, especially with a growing fandom. Like it's
Yeah,
just ought to
especially with
happen.
Twitter. I mean, things just come so quickly, and you'll see trending, and you'll be like, "Wait, like what's happening?" And then
Right.
it's just like it's just so much to like look into at once. Even with, I mean,
Hmm.
Army Twitter, low key scary, but
Yeah.
so very helpful in like trying to navigate things.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I feel like people are like also very willing to help if they do see something. They'll like hopefully educate other people in like a very nice and kind way. And so, I mean, I think that's like the good thing about like Army Twitter sometimes.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. No, you shouldn't be afraid to like really post stuff or whatever, but like obviously it's Twitter. You
Yeah,
have gonna expect like some people just be like, eh. But yeah, like a lot of people are just there to help you and stuff like
yeah,
that. Like just don't be afraid.
yeah. And so before we get into the PTD BTS LA concerts, you have attended a lot of BTS concerts in the past. And how would you describe BTS concerts from the show itself to the days leading up to it?
So, if I'm gonna be honest, my experiences have all been all over the place because they're just so like unexpected. But honestly, like preparing and everything like that, you have to get a hotel or like flights and everything like that. Like Chicago, I stayed with my friend like at her apartment, so I didn't really have to buy a hotel, but like you have to like book your flights, everything like that. And then it's just a lot of planning, but you shouldn't really be so overwhelmed. Like if you have a ticket, you're good to go. Like you just have to like figure everything else out around it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
getting the ticket.
I'm sorry. I have like this cough that just like
And so, do you have like a favorite memory of a BTS concert that you?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna get water real quick.
All good,
I
all
am
good.
so sorry. Ugh. I think like my most favorite memory. I don't I don't know. There's like a lot. I am so sorry.
You're all good.
It's just all the talking is a lot. everything's falling apart. Anyway, so I think my most favorite memory is just being able to be with friends and being able to scream with like others around you.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I think that's really what it is.
So you're attending, I think, all of the PTD BTS LA concerts. Congrats on surviving the ticketing fiasco, because that was the worst moment of my life. Like it was horrible. So I mean, how do you feel about it?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm like dying. This is bad.
No,
Anyway,
okay.
so the first days, my friend actually got our sound check tickets for day one. So I didn't go through that or whatever. And then I got my Sunday sound check, but it was like only one ticket. So I was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I've never been to a concert by myself, you know? And so with that, I was like, oh, heck, okay. And then like the same friend who got like the sound check tickets, like both of them for us, he originally got like nosebleed tickets. He was like, Julia, I got them. And I'm like, what did you get? And then he's like, the $60 ones. And I'm like, oh. And so then he like went back and like got the other ones. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, he sold them to his friends for face value. So obviously they didn't go to waste. But and then I bought actually live play tickets, and I'm very excited for that because I am not sure how they're going to do it. Like it's something very new. And then I bought nosebleed tickets for day 4, but I bought them like days after. Like because I also did that with like Newark. Like Newark, I originally did not get tickets on the day of. And I found people who were hosting a suite, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to join with that because I needed 3 tickets. And so then I did that. And it was so nice. Like I was able to like meet a whole lot of new people and make new friends. So yeah.
Suites are very like private, but you still get that like experience of still obviously being there.
Yeah, for sure. And my one friend was like, she was trying to find tickets, and I was like, okay, I'll try and find tickets as well. Like we can go together on like December 2nd, because I was like, I already have a live play ticket, like December 1st. Like I'm not going to go to the venue. Like I'm just going to go live play. And so like I found tickets, and I was like, okay, there we go. It's just like people have to search for tickets is really, you got to be really on top of it. So yeah, but there's like a lot of tickets available.
Yeah, there's a lot of tickets, but like the prices just,
they're insane. Yeah. People like to take advantage of Armies.
Yeah.
For sure.
And it's like, I mean, for me, like when I used to like One Direction and like other people like that, even at like their peak, I don't think ticketing was ever this bad.
No. Like I've never been through other ticketing that was just as bad as ticketing.
And like the scalp and the season ticket holders, that was such a frustrating experience.
Oh my gosh.
And to see them like on Facebook, like, ooh, look at the tickets. Like, I don't even know who they are, but I'm going to like take advantage of this.
It's insane. It's like, listen, like people shouldn't be mad at people who are going to multiple days, especially if they're Armies. Exactly. And you should be mad at the people who are scalpers, who are literally taking all these tickets away from people and uppricing them. Like they're not going to have like, there's going to be places that are no seats and stuff like that because of these scalpers. But you shouldn't be mad at actual Armies who are actually going to these multiple days because they are going to cheer on for the boys, you know? Like, so and there's that.
If it's their money, like, we don't really like have a say, and we shouldn't put our 2 cents in because that's their money. That's the time that they put in to earn that. And they deserve
like if they want to go, they can go. And if you can go to as many shows as you want. Like as for me, like, yes, I've been to many concerts, but that's because I love the experience. Like I love being there, and I just want to enjoy it all. And because I remember like I came back from Newark and I have this video of me crying in the car, and I'm like, oh my God, like it's done. Like, when am I ever going to see them again? And then like, you know, Chicago came, and then I started crying again after that. Like, when am I going to see them again? The pandemic hit, and I'm like, you know what? Well, now the Soul was canceled, so let's get it.
And especially like going on Twitter, I myself have been in so many bidding wars, and it's absolutely insane that these people consider themselves Army and then like try to sell it for like $2,000. I think jokingly, I made one. I raised the bid to $20,000 just as a joke. It felt like that's what they deserve for trying to
right.
extort money from Army. But
exactly,
that's a whole different thing.
Because like I was seeing these were mostly for sound check tickets, sound check floor tickets that they were like, it's a bidding. And then there was one that went up to like $3,000. And I was like, how do you guys have the money? Like that's fine, but it's like, how are you going to spend that much for that? Like, I don't know. Like I think like my whole entire Go ahead.
Especially when it's only like $500. Like,
yeah.
I would encourage them to like sell it for that much.
Right. Like I think my whole entire trip was like about like $1,000+ or something like that. And I was just like, I would not spend that much on one singular floor ticket. Yeah. Like if I can spend it for how long I am going to be in LA. So, but that's just how I deal with my money. So
yeah, I mean, to each their own, but also like you're kind of like buying into the people who are selling it for a lot.
Exactly. Because like these scalpers are not going to go anywhere. Like they're like people are going to continue buying their stuff because this is like what happens. Like,
and I know on TikTok, I think you posted TikTok about the one person who spent $11,000 on a mutual of mine sent that to me, and I woke up in the morning and I was like, I'm sorry, what? Am I reading this correctly?
That's literally like 3 whole semesters for me. Like, I'm like,
tuition for that.
Yeah, like, and if I'm going to be honest, like, A1 seats, row 1, like, aren't that great tickets. Like, if I'm
trying to like,
it's like if I hear some advice, like if you're gonna want front row tickets to anywhere in barricade wise, don't do A1 row 1, like those ones up there, because you're going to break your neck looking at the screen and looking up. Like it's like the screen is literally right in front of you. Like anything else, like I would say extended stage or like on like the walkway is your best bet.
Especially because I mean A1, it's kind of already cut off from the stage, like you're already kind of, like pushed out from the stage. So I mean, not bashing on them for choosing to spend that money, but also
it's like I'm praying for your neck, honey,
and also your wallet. But
but you do you. Go ahead.
It's all up to you. And so there's fans coming from literally all over the world for this. What are some tips you have for planning a trip for concerts in general?
So I would budget yourself. With me, I mostly use my Map of the Soul tour, like refunds. So everything that I have had, like I've used from my refunds. And I would budget yourself, and I would like be like, oh, can I do something on this day, and stuff like that? Do I have the time for it? And then like book your flights, stuff like that. Book your hotels. Like in a way, like you do have to think about transportation and stuff like that. But like you also want to make sure that you have like a group with you, so you can split the
the costs,
everything. Yeah. And with flights and everything like that, just make sure like you're coming in on time, like everything like that. This is like kind of my first time flying alone. So like coming from Pennsylvania to LA was like my first time flying alone. It wasn't bad, like obviously, but it's like kind of a bit like nerve-wracking. Like sometimes like if you haven't ever flown in your life and you're flying alone, like that's definitely like a bit scary, but like you're totally fine. All you gotta do is just like look at the like signs, you're good to go. So yeah.
And so speaking of transportation, I know SoFi has given a lot of information recently on their website and how merch will be open a day before the shows. And so for fans who want to buy merch at the concert, what tips do you have for them?
So I Speak Yourself Chicago. I went the day before because they also opened it a day before, and we got there around like 7:30 in the morning, and there was a line. Yeah, it was like all that stuff. But the thing is, like, none of it really sold out. Like, Speak Yourself was much better than Love Yourself. Like, Love Yourself tour, everything would always be selling out. Like, you would, I think in the morning, like with those t-shirts and stuff like that, like they only probably had like 300 at each show. Yeah. And they would sell out in literally like 15 minutes. And then no one would be able to get like that many. Like I had to pay like $100+ for my Love Yourself shirt because it was just so hard to get it. And like that bag that Hobie
Oh
had,
my
like the red one, would be sold out constantly. But Speak Yourself was much nicer with merch. I think they added a whole bunch more like apparel because they were like, I think everyone was kind of complaining how like there wasn't really that much apparel at Love Yourself. And then they were like, okay, let's just put a whole bunch of apparel into Speak Yourself. And I'm like, okay. But I went during the day and stuff like that. There was no line, absolutely no line. And the staff member was like, you're back? And I'm like, yeah. And then I come back again. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I just want merch, man. But yeah, during the day there's no line sometimes. Like but definitely in the morning it's definitely really busy and stuff like that, but you'll be fine during the day,
Yeah.
honestly.
I feel like
And
a lot
then
of people are concerned just about it selling out and like what are they gonna have and what the
right.
lines gonna look like.
I think everyone will be fine, honestly. Like, they had so much merch on Weavers and stuff like that. Like, I feel like they're just gonna have a whole bunch at like SoFi and stuff like that. Also with Army Bombs, they don't sell out.
Really?
So you are, yeah, so you're good to go. And they what is it? They have the pairing booth. So that express merch booth is for Army Bombs, like is for light sticks and stuff like that. And then they have like the pairing stations and stuff like that that you go to. I honestly go to the pairing stations because I'm so nervous with like the app and stuff like that that it's not gonna work. So I'm just like, all right, time to do the pairing booth.
Let's go to the
So yeah.
professionals.
Yeah, right. And then they do it super quickly, like literally in like a minute and you're done. So yeah.
And so speaking of Army Bombs, I know that SoFi has said like you can bring in batteries, but like should we expect to bring in batteries? Like do Army Bombs like eat a lot of battery?
Well, it kind of depends now because there's a new light stick. And with the version 3, I believe I used like my batteries, like the same batteries they're like the entire time. Like I didn't have to like change it for both shows and stuff like that. But I don't know how it is with the Map of Soul tour, like Map of Soul edition one. But I would definitely bring extra batteries just in case.
And so speaking of bringing extra batteries, what is in your concert bag? What's your like survival kit?
So I bring a portable charger, very important. My charging cord, and then hand sanitizer, my wallet, and then mask,
Hmm.
and trying what else to think of, vaccination card,
Important.
and then I don't know, like I'm trying to limit myself to what I bring or
Hmm.
whatever because I'm just like I don't want to be carrying a whole bunch of stuff around.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you only really need the essentials like a portable charger. I bring an extra phone just because like I may run out of space or I may like, have no space on my phone, yeah. And it doesn't have a SIM card in it. It's like an old phone, so it's just like not usable, but like I just get nervous. And so I bring that and then my wallet, like stuff like that. But your army bomb.
Also, that's
Yeah.
essential.
hmm
And I
But
feel
I would also recommend not bringing like the tiny little fans or whatever because you're not really supposed to bring those. So
and you don't
because I
want to
know
have the dilemma of trying to like, where do I put this? Do I have to walk all the way back to my car or like
right.
public transportation? There is no car
Yeah.
back into.
hmm Be very careful like with those. I just heard that SoFi let the little plushy BT21s in
Mhm.
now.
James.
And yeah, it changed. So they're allowing that like and then you can bring pins, but you have to put them inside. So there's that.
Yeah, I feel like definitely with the like that's all you need is the essentials. Like you don't have
Yeah.
to go overboard with it. Just take what you need, so you don't have to stress out. Oh, where is this? Did I lose this? Or
Mm-hmm.
do I have to put this?
Exactly. Exactly.
And for phone space, definitely. Like a big tip is just get rid of what you don't need now because you don't want to like be in the middle and then you get like the notification that says you have this space and you're like, what do I do now?
Let's cry.
just cry, but just cry because you have space. So
There
space
you go.
is something to take care of before the show starts. Don't try to delete photos like as you're in the concert.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so speaking of the whole ticket fiasco, for fans that weren't able to get tickets, what tips do you have for them? Basically, like more opportunities in the future, or like ticket prices going down, waiting until like the last day.
So basically, I look on Twitter. Like I've been looking on Twitter a lot for like tickets. That's how I got like those nosebleeds for December 2nd, like with my friend. And all you have to search up is like WTS or willing to sell like BTS tickets, and like a whole bunch of people will be like selling them and stuff like that. Honestly, I also got Chicago Day One tickets from At the Soul Tour on Facebook, and people will just be randomly like selling them and stuff like that. You obviously like if you're going to be buying someone's tickets, please send through goods and services on PayPal.
Mm-hmm.
You do not want to get scammed. So definitely do that. And then with Ticketmaster, I have been noticing that the prices have been going down, but I would not give into the temptation of having to purchase those tickets at such a high price now. Like definitely wait it out because that's going to happen. And for Love Yourself tour, I remember my one friend. She went to the box office and she got general admission tickets for literally like I think like $30. Yeah, it was like a really low price, and she was like, "Yeah, like I got in, like all that stuff." Like, I don't know if SoFi is going to do that. They did say something about the box office opening and stuff like that, so I was like, that's kind of like fishy, but there is that option as well. So there's definitely a whole bunch of other opportunities. Like BTS has been saying constantly about like tours and stuff like that. Like I feel like this is a test run now.
Yeah.
And then they're going to announce a big tour after.
Yeah. And especially with like a lot of other K-pop acts, I know like Twice, NCT, like tours are coming out, guys. Like it's definitely not the time to be like sad over it. Like just be hopeful. Like that's really all we can do is just be hopeful and be ready for a tour announcement. I know the ticketing was just absolutely horrible. Would love to put that in the past and just never think about it again. But I mean, if you are buying tickets from Twitter, literally just ask for any proof. Like a real genuine seller will give you like any proof.
Everything.
And they're going to be very willing to do so. If they're like, no, I don't want to do that. Don't want to rain on your parade, but they might be a scammer. Just and also like search their username because I know BTS Ticketbot tweets a lot about scammers. So that's important to like look into.
Whenever I was buying those nosebleeds, I asked the person, like, do you have the confirmation email, like stuff like that? Can you please send me the confirmation email with like your info and everything like that? And like, she's like, yeah, like here's everything, like here's the info. Like you just have to get everything. Like you have to ask for like a video of the tickets. Like I didn't, but like I kind of like knew like she was like pretty reliable because like I also searched on her page and like she sold like a whole bunch of other tickets as well, and like they got the tickets as well, and I was like, okay, we're good. So we're good to go. You have to look. And
and you can really like tell if it's a genuine seller. Like when was their account made? Do they tweet a lot? Do they tweet about BTS? So just time, guys, and like just do your research because I feel like it would obviously not getting tickets sucks, but it would be better to save your money for next.
And go to another. Yep.
Yeah,
for sure.
And so talking more about the PTD shows, what are some ways that fans can meet other armies before the concert? I know sometimes people give out like freebies and just a lot of meetups in general.
Mm-hmm. So I've noticed that there's a whole bunch of cup soup events and also like a whole bunch of like 18 plus events as well, like happening, like K-pop, like raves or like BTS dances and stuff like that happening. And there's also like some meetups and everything like that are also happening. Like I know for like the AMAs, whenever I'm going, like people are like, we're gonna have like this little meetup, just take a little photo of all of us, like have a little bit of fun, and then like go get dinner after or something. I don't know, but I know for freebies, I would be very careful handing them out because what is it, like the staff there will come after people like if they think that you are selling or like
Mm,
doing all that stuff on the property. Because I remember in Chicago there was a specific area that wasn't on Soldier Field like grounds, like it was like on the other side where people were selling or like giving away freebies, so like staff wouldn't like come after them. But I would be super careful with handing out freebies because they literally will just take it and then toss it out. So yeah.
and a lot of like time and effort money put into
Right.
like, making these freebies.
Right. So yeah, I would be very careful. I know like a lot of like fan sites have bring their slogans and stuff like that to sell to people, but they sold it on like that other side of like Soldier Field. So yeah, I know like I got actually it was like by the aquarium or something like that, and like they were giving out these like slogans. I got like a Jungkook and Jimin's like paper slogan, and it was so cute. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of cute freebies. Like you'll really enjoy it. Like people make such the cutest things. So yeah.
So, what are you looking forward to most about these concerts and like the AMAs and Jingle Ball? There's just a lot happening at once.
I think just being able to see BTS again. Like being able to reunite with like seeing how they're going to react whenever they see Armies again, and just like that's just going to be the best feeling ever, like to do that.
So, when was the last time that you'd seen them live?
I saw them in GMA like May something. Like it was back in May 2019. And that was like the last time I saw them. And like I would keep looking back at my videos and it would just always be like, oh, I'll see you next year. Like I'll see you next year. It's okay. And next year never happened. So then here is 2021 with PTD. So yeah.
The announcement came like very, I don't want to say like last minute, but it was just very like out of nowhere. I remember
Yeah.
in a group chat I was in, they were like, "Oh my gosh, Weverse announcement." I'm like, "What is it?" Like, probably just like something else. And then I was like, "I'm
Yeah.
sorry, that's like offline." Like,
Yeah, yeah. Especially after like the whole like Map of the Soul tour cancellation, it kind of was like a hit in the gut, and it was
no,
just like, but our tickets, like all this stuff, and then you're like, I am forever grateful for this and everything like that, but it was just like, gosh, like okay, we're just gonna have to go through ticketing all over again. Like I hate this process, and like I
yeah,
would get so stressful and everything like that. Like a lot of people think like since I've been to so many shows, like I know everything about ticketing or something like that. I'm like, no, honey, like it is completely like just full on luck. Like with ticketing for Chicago, like I originally was not going to go to Chicago. I was going to go to MetLife, but then those tickets were like selling out and stuff like that, and like I couldn't get in. I was on the phone like trying to call. This was back whenever you could call Ticketmaster to get
mhm.
tickets, and I was on the phone just crying, and then like it just wouldn't let me in. And then like I told my dad, I'm like, I'm going to Chicago, like 5 minutes like right before like tickets went on sale. And then like I told my friend, I was like, we're going to Chicago because I know someone who lives in Chicago and we are going. And so that's what we did. And then we got the floor tickets, and then like we tried for like the second day, got the floor tickets again. I was like, all right, Chicago is it. And then yeah, I think I had much more fun at Chicago than like any other thing. So yeah.
And it really the Mott's cancellation hurt so bad. I mean, I didn't have tickets because like I became an army like in quarantine, so like
Mhm.
knowing for other people, like it was just the fact that you could have kept the tickets and had it like still be valid
Yeah.
or having to go through that ticket process again is not
No, like I had barricade tickets for what is it, DC, and then they were just like taken away from me like that, and I was like, great guys, like, that was my one chance. But I don't know, there's many more opportunities in the future, so don't lose hope. Like, I promise, don't lose hope.
So any theories about the set list? I mean, we got PTD live a month ago.
Yeah.
Do we think it's going to be the same, or do we think maybe something different?
I feel like it's definitely gonna probably be the same. Like, I feel like they're not gonna do the solos until like the next tour, just because like I think this is like a separate like concert kind of thing or whatever, just like a special edition or something like that. And with that, I just feel like it's going to be the same. But they could always like surprise us. Like, you never know what's going to happen with BTS, so I feel like they're going to surprise us in a way. But I still hope that they have that blood, sweat, and tears and fake love mix.
The blood, sweat, and tears really threw me for. Oh my gosh!
The way I literally screamed.
It was like 3 a.m. or whatever, but nope, all sanity was out.
And then we also got Airplane Part 2. My mom is absolutely obsessed with that song, so then I told her, and she was like, "You're kidding," and I'm like, "Yes." So yeah,
I feel like a lot of people were speculating that it was going to be like not set list or just like have B, but I really don't think so, because it just feels like a separate sound.
I have a theory. I feel like Map of the Soul like is not done yet. Like, that era is just not done yet, and I feel like the next tour is just gonna be Map of the Soul related again. Like, they're not done. Like, they want to perform their solos.
Yeah,
like they want to do that in front of Armies. Like, come on. So yeah.
So how has BTS been an inspiration for you?
In a way, it's like the fact that they like are able to go through like all these hardships and then like find a way out of it and stuff like that. Like, they continue to grow. Like, we were talking like before this, and like I feel like BTS hasn't reached their peak yet. Like, they're totally like still growing, like stuff like that. Like, it's just crazy to see like there's no way to stop them, like, you cannot. Like, they are ruling the world, like all that stuff. Like, it's just they came from literally nothing to like being the biggest group in the whole world. Like, that is just insane. Like,
I'm pretty sure if you say like BTS in a room, you're gonna have at least some people look at you either as Army, or just some people look at you being like, oh, like what are they gonna say?
Right. But I think that's really what it is. It's just like they really inspire a whole lot of people, especially with like their lyrics and like their own experiences and stuff like that. Because in a way, their music, like, I'm not able to express how I feel like that well, and I feel like their music is able to help me do that in a way. So yeah.
And so, speaking of music and their songs and their lyricism, is there any either specific line or specific song that has stuck with you throughout the years?
Most likely Trivial Love. Like, that song literally like has impacted my life in like so many ways. It's just like, I saw it live. I would cry every single time. Like, it was just like bawling eyes out. Like, I don't know, like, first note, like, it would just be me crying. And then like I have this one clip where my friend literally hands me a tissue, and it's just me in the background going, "Thank you," like, while I'm crying. But it's just like the I Live So I Love, and the way that Namjoon really like has his like lyrics and everything. It's just like a whole masterpiece. And also, like, I'm obsessed with Dream Glow. Like, I literally love Dream Glow. Like,
yes, so good.
One of the best songs out there, honestly. Like, I feel like more people need to appreciate the BTS World soundtrack.
That soundtrack was absolutely amazing and very, in my opinion, underappreciated. Just a little bit.
Like, those collabs, who would have thought that like Namgi would be doing it like with Juice WRLD? Like,
exactly.
That was insane. I was like, because I was on vacation whenever those songs came out, like A Brand New Day and like All Night, and like I was on the I was in Athens, and like it came out, and I was like, wait a minute, like I need to go to a quiet place. Like, is this actually happening right now? Like, what the heck? But it was just being like that whole experience, like being able to like witness that, like it's just so cool. And then especially with like new Armies, like being able to witness like all the huge like thing, like collabs and stuff like that. Like I feel like I understand that some people are just like, oh, BTS continues to do collabs and everything like that, but it's like you have to like see like how like you would have never expected for this collab to happen, you know, like, and then they just did it, like with Halsey. Like it was just so cool because in the hidden background like vocals, like you can tell like she's singing in Korean, and it's just amazing that they are able to like also influence other like artists and stuff like that to be able to do like their like own music, like speaking their that language, you know. So it's just really cool.
Exactly. And so I feel like recently there's been a lot of discourse on how BTS's music has changed and if they're trying to like fit, you know, like the westernized standards. So what are your thoughts and opinions on that?
I think in a way, like you have to trust BTS. Like please trust BTS because they know what they're doing. They are not going to get away from their roots. Like if you like, please go back and listen to Map the Soul 7. Like, come on. Like you have so many genres and stuff like that. Like I was working with this one friend as like on a project and stuff like that, and he was like, so I noticed, like, are you into like K-pop like BTS? And I'm just like, yeah. And he's like, what songs do you recommend me to like listen to? And I was like, first question was like, okay, but what kind of genre of music do you listen to? And so then he said like, you know, emo, pop, like stuff like that. And I was like, listen to Shadow, Black Swan, like honestly listen to all of Map of Soul 7 and Tear and Dark and Wild. And he listened to Shadow and he was like, I was hooked. Like I literally loved it. And then he also listened to Dionysus and he was just like, I could not like stop listening to it. I was like, they have so many genres, like you just have to go through their songs. Like you'll find that song that is meant for you because they have so many.
It's honestly insane. I remember my mom asked me when she was like, how many songs do they have? And I was like, a lot.
A lot.
The answer, it's a lot.
Yep.
No other way. There's not like a number, like just a lot.
Yep, right.
I feel like you can get surface level knowledge of a song, but to actually go in and like read the lyrics and actually like understand the song, I feel like you just get a completely different understanding of BTS.
Right, exactly. Like it's very important to read like the translated lyrics. Very important.
Like, sometimes people will be like, oh, I never knew like this song was about this. And I'm like, not everybody has time to like go through every single BTS song.
Yeah.
Read the translations. But also like if you have a favorite BTS song and you haven't looked at the translations,
right.
Just in your free time, looking at the translations.
Come on, like, there it is. And especially with like, what is it, the music videos and how the lyrics are literally right there. Like don't be looking at like the lyric videos like that people put out. The lyrics are literally right there. Like come on.
Speaking of music videos, are you knowledgeable on the like BTS universe for the music videos?
Yes, yeah. I actually was reading like a bit of the notes too on my plane ride here because I'm trying to like finish it and stuff.
There's so much to it.
There is.
Sometimes the information just goes like over my head.
Right.
I'm like, I'll come back to it eventually.
I'm gonna let the theory armies do it. I'm just gonna look on the side, everybody.
I remember before the PTD online concert, my friend was like trying to like tell me about it, but I was also like in the middle of studying. So I was like, what do I listen to? I was like sitting there. I was like, wait, like, what do you mean trash can? I was like, what? And then I caught like some of the like just references like in PTD, like the blood, sweat, and tears. And I was like, wow, I get it.
Yeah, right. It's so cool. Like I hope like with the whole Map of the Soul like era, like that was insane. Like
Mhm.
whenever I first heard Persona, like whenever I first heard like the school love affair like background, I
Yeah.
was like, wait a minute, what are they doing right now? And then they did like Boy with Love, Boy in Love, and I'm just like, it's a completely different vibe, but like I'm totally okay with this. Like it was just, I love how they're going back to like other like older songs and stuff like that.
And it's just really insane, like to see the progression or to see like I'm like,
Yep.
how do you guys think
How
like
did they
this far
think of
ahead
it?
with music videos or like lyrics and you get those like references to old songs? I'm like, wow.
Right. Like
Well,
whenever Fake Love came out and like that whole trailer, like it was just insane. Everyone, like all the theories, stuff like that. I was like, oh my God, like this is gonna be crazy.
and it's like the people who actually do like study the theories, I'm like, I applaud you because I feel
Yeah.
like it takes so much brain power to go and look back at everything that it's honestly amazing.
Right. It's crazy.
And I honestly don't know how they do it. I'll be watching videos and I'm like, how do you have the time for this? Like, it's
Right.
really, really busy. And so,
Mhm.
for Army, what is something you love about Army in general?
I think it's really cool how like how organized we are in a way. Like just recently, like the whole like DCMA thing and stuff like that that happened, and how like they made spaces and actually got like Twitter involved to like fix these like things is just like crazy. Like we have such a power in order to like, you know, really like change how things are run or stuff like that. And it's just like they're so diverse, and it's just like we're also loving. Like we're just here for like BTS, but we're also here to also like tell y'all how to do your jobs or something like that, you know? Like so I think we just are like a powerful fandom group.
Yeah, literally Army. Like, it
Yeah,
couldn't have been a more perfect name.
right, exactly.
And sometimes, I think Army gets a bad rep amongst Stan Twitter, but like with everything, there is a good and there is a bad side. So,
Yeah, for sure.
what is something that you wish more people knew about Army or like understood more?
I think it's just mostly like how we're really here just to like mind our own business, you know? Like we're not here for like constant drama, like stuff like that. I don't really involve myself in drama. Like I'm just like here with for the vibes, you know? Like we're not here to go after you. Like if we're provoked, then yeah,
Yeah,
sure. But it's like
we have a reason.
right, exactly. Like come on. We're just here. We're here for BTS. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Like we're here for them. So yeah.
And I remember, I think in an interview Halsey did with Zach saying, she mentioned like how Army gets like a lot of criticism for being protective. And then she said like
Yep.
rightfully so though, because like there's just a lot of things that like BTS have had to face. And so
Mhm.
Army really does a good job at like trying to prevent things from happening or trying to like educate people. So
Right, exactly. Like that's what I love about Halsey and like all the other like what is it? Kind of, you know, collabs that they have had with like other people. Like they
mhm,
know like our power, like all that stuff, and they're just like, but
exactly.
we constantly get like a bad rep because like we're just here to protect BTS. Like that's
Yeah,
it. Like we just want to protect the artists that we are here for.
exactly. And even with Chris Martin, I mean, Chris Martin flying to Korea,
Yeah.
14 days and only spending 2 days to record the song, that is absolutely insane to me.
Insane. He is amazing.
And just the way that like he talks about them in such a good light and is just very like respectful of them
Yep.
is absolutely amazing. And same with Meghan,
Yes.
like such good things are happening.
Love them. They're all
They
besties.
really are. They are BTS besties. And so we're reaching the end of this. Is there anything else you'd like to share that you want more people to know, either the fandom, your background, or I mean something else that we didn't mention?
Um, Not really. I guess like everyone's going who's going to the concert or the online streams. Have fun. Like you're going to enjoy it. Like BTS is back and they are ready to show Army what they have been keeping for over 2 years. So yeah.
And as we reach the end, I'd like to say thank you so much. And for those of you who have stayed with us the entire time, I'm Megan, and this has been Army on Fave. Fave is a new app where fans can connect and meet other armies, post video content, and start and join chat rooms. We also have BTS inspired merch on our marketplace. We have our PTD inspired merch. So be sure to check all of that out and download the app. And yeah, if you guys have any more questions, drop them in the comments. And if not, this has been Megan and Julia with Fave.
Thank you.
Guys.
Bye.